What is the crack, ladies and gentlemen? It's Gibboeire here to another episode of World of Warcraft on the Kronos server. How y'all doing? Here we are, once more in mighty Ungoro. Why? Why am I here? Librams. Librams. Pain in the hole that they are. They give us mighty stats. And in a game of stats, we want more of them. So here we are to get them. I've been farming crystals. I farmed too many. I didn't realize I didn't need that many. We need... Oh, yeah. Fucking, I'd do one next year. Inv. Happy face. We need... Crystal Force. Why? Librum of Veracity. Howdy, everyone. Happy face. Always put a happy face. We need this shit. Why? That gives us 6. I only need 4. I have it open here next to me because 2 monitors. It's fantastic. What do we need that for? I'm going to sell the rest of those crystals because they suck the fucking farm. I'm sure somebody will want that shit. What do we want those for? Librum of Veracity. And the enchant. Why am I not internet famous yet? Do something stupid in a raid and I'm sure you can be. We are going to put our +8 agility enchant on our legs. Okay, so we're going to finally make our way into Dire Maul. Yeah. And go into the library and actually use the Librum of Veracity that I found fucking ages ago when I was farming. We finally have our T2.5. We're going to have those for a good old while, so it's actually worth our while finally blowing it and using it. I also enchanted the chest that I showed you guys in the last episode, which I know was hella long, but the nature of what it was that had been recorded made it necessary to do so. And that was the condensed version, may I add, plus footage that had been lost in the meantime. And that just finished rendering literally, like, 6 or 7 minutes before I started recording this episode. So I'm already working on the next one, efficiency. We put +4 stats onto our chest as well, so I just want to make sure I have all the enchants and all my gear now. So the only thing we're kind of really stung for now at the moment is bracers, but we'll work towards getting something to replace our Zandalar ones here at some stage in the near future too. Okay, where are we heading next? Now we need to head up to Felwood, and we need to get Whipperroot tubers. Do I have salve on me? I do. Haha. Do I have enough? Oh, we can get more salve as needs be. You need 2 to do a fucking songflower to get the buff. So I figure it's probably going to be a similar amount in order to do the Whipperroot tubes. But we can farm some when we get up there. Do I have my beacon of Senera with me? No, I do not. Okay, so we're going to have to stop off somewhere and get that along the way. You nearly died earlier and I saved you. The disarm must really suck for him as a warrior. Anywho, back in a minute once we make our way to wherever it is. Either that or you're going to see a bit of a next year. I don't really know. This episode hasn't really been fully formulated in my mind just yet. Is this? Where am I? Oh, yeah, I'm in here. Right, back in a minute. Okay, so here we are in Felwood. Felwood. Very good. I knew that. Let's kill this guy because I don't want him to piss me off while I'm doing this. And there is the objective of our quest. Now, I'm really smart, and I already did it, and I wasn't recording. So, feels good, man. Right. This is a Whipperroot doodaddy. You need Cenarian plant salve in order to make them not fucked. We have made sure that this one was not fucked. This is what we got. Whipperroot tubers. They restore 700 900 health upon use. Don't know if they share a cooldown with like potions or anything. I think I only need 4 of these, but we can test that later. They are also soulbound, so cool. We could farm some fellcloth while we're here for the bank. By the bank, I mean my bank, not anyone else's bank. Just in case that was something that needs to be clarified. Right, but anyway, we now have our Crystal Force. Crystal Force. We also have our Whipperroot tubers. Now we need a black diamond. The ones that you get from Blackrock Depths. There's an iron, a lava run going. That'll do me. I'll just need on one of the diamonds that nobody ever fucking needs. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt. Jadefire Betrayer is about to get shanked. Cool. Cool. I reckon this will probably take me about half an hour. Give or take. Jesus, these go down hella fast now with the gear. Like, Christ. Christ almighty. Right, I actually should make my way back most promptly. Where am I now? My best bet would be to fly to Aubergine and take the boat. Yeah, that'll be the fastest way. Back in a minute. Okay, so here we are in the Burning Steppes, and this is another reason why Librams are a pain in the tatas, because it's fucking confusing. Do you go to Diremol? Do you come to the Burning Steppes? I had to look this shit up, and it's not really very plainly written anywhere. And look at it. The Horde get a fucking Flight Master right next to this fucking guy, whereas the Alliance have to come from all the way over. This is bullshit. That's a bit bullshit. Anyway, fucking facetiousness aside, this dude is the dude that we need to speak with regarding the stuff. This one. We have all the shit. 30 gold. I'm trying to save gold. Oh, game. Why? I've already got you all this shit. Why you gotta ask for 30G as well, you fucking extortionist? What a dick. It's because he's got a wonky fucking nose. That's what it is. And fucking massive eyebrows. That's how you know you can't trust him. Wonky nose and massive eyebrows. Fucking pointy eyebrows. You pointy eyebrowed bastard. Of all the features, like the ears, the fucking super long arms, the square face, but no, we had to pick on his pointy fucking eyebrow. What level are you? Fucking kill this guy. Fuck. Wait, can I, without this, getting aggroed? Are you on a welfare mount? Is that cheap? How is he tagging me? Come back here! I'm not even stealthed! Piece of shit! Ah! So good at video games. Right, whatever. I thought I was in stealth there, to be honest. I didn't even notice. I wanted to go over and sap him. Is he coming back? Yeah, let's go, motherfucker. Did I see a red nameplate? Or was it this? I totally saw a red nameplate there. I think I'm just getting... I've been doing too much PvP lately. I think I'm just getting paranoid. I'm just off DayZ as well. So I'm a bit kind of... There's enemies everywhere. Right, let's just get this over with before this goes horrendously wrong. As you can see, you can get 8 of whatever stat you want. It goes on either the head or the legs. Fucking fantastic. Of course, we want the agility, but I just want to show off all the options. Boom. Okay, 30G down the fucking drain. Going straight on our T2.5 legs. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There we are. Make sure we do this right. Boom. And then we have +8 agility, which is fantastic. In the interest of science, I'm going to... Pop. Stealth. I'm going to pop this Whipper Trio, because I want to see if it shares a cooldown with the potion. I'm going to have to pop. We need a bigger hill. Hang on. We gotta go for this one. Damage. It does not share a cooldown with the potion. So, food for thought there. Could be useful. Like as an extra consumable for healing. Costs 3 Cenarian plant salve though. That's kind of hella expensive. But that's easy enough to farm too. Like a couple of the lads have like fucking 200 out of it, and they just keep it in their bank every time for when we go, or in their inventory every time that we go to raids. That way everyone can get like the Songflower Serenade buff. Interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this here. We'll be back in a minute. Okay. So very quickly, because it is quite late, and I just need to get this out of the way very fast. We've completed several of our orders. Hand this bad boy in. A boom. No, wait, what? No. Who do I hand these into? I don't want more craftsman for it. Fuck. What do I get out of this one? No, it's not. Jesus fucking Christ, they're hella expensive. I can't do that one. Go away. Well, where do I hand these in? Hackmaster. Stone Bruiser. Where are you? This dude. I've quests done for you. I have that literally right here. I have 10 of them. I have the thing with me. Don't be giving me that shite now. I have 20 of them. What's going on? What's the dealio? For reading? Reading? Okay. Do these 25 not count? Do I need to relog or something? I did put them in the bank. I think I need to abandon the quests and then re-accept them. I think that's what needs to happen. Because I think because I banked them, it probably just didn't register the fact that I have the shit. Stop fucking fate. It'll work now. There we go. That's it. I could edit this bit out, but I won't. Just shut up. Which one are we going to take? It's going to take longer to farm these. So we'll go with Insignias of the Dawn. Bum bum. Because we'll only get those through getting the elemental cores. So this is far quicker. Okay, get all this out of my inventory. This is a really inefficient way of doing this quest. I should just grind out the cores and shit, but meh. Anyway, okay, so here we are in Winterspring. I'm farming gold. Well, I'm farming echoes to get gold. I don't really use the frost maul ones, but fucking people do. I should, but meh. That's not the point. The point is that one of the lads in the guild watched one of the videos and pointed out that I was talking about my braces and how that now that I don't have a 2-set bonus from that anymore, they're kind of defunct. And I need hit. Little did I know, even though I knew the fucking recipe, that I could just make these. Back in a minute once I've made them. Rightio, so here we are in the Eastern Plaguelands, and I am farming the fucking bejesus out of these elementals. I was farming the elementals in Winterspring, but turns out they're seasonal. Didn't know. And another thing I want to discuss, as one of the guys pointed out last night, because it is actually kind of interesting, is you saw me starting a frost maul. Well, starting with a frost. I didn't start the group. Starting with a frost maul farming group in the last clip, and I was talking to you guys about how I was going to make those braces, which I haven't done yet. I want to point that out. Waiting for the next ZG, which might actually be tonight. I think it has just reset. I already have 5 of the primal bat leather, so like I might as well wait and then get them on the free as opposed to purchasing them myself. Like it just makes more sense, I guess. Or like I have until tomorrow, which is raid time, to get like that sort of shit in the sorted out. What I want to do as well is because I've since now gotten a Hakari idol, which now means that the start of this video where we whacked on the 8 agility has now become defunct, unfortunately. I want to make my way back into ZG at some stage, that way we can get the 28 attack power and 1 dodge, yeah, and put that on my legs as well, which is from now my reading of it far superior to 8 agility. So it's good. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about wasn't the bracers. What I wanted to talk about was I'm farming for cores of elements, by the way, just in case you're wondering. These bad boys, so I can trade them in for the things over in the Argent Dawn. What I wanted to talk about was dynamic respawn rates. And I'd heard of this phrase before, and the last time I'd heard of this phrase was when Nost popped back up, and I was on that, and they had changed the way mobs respawn in order to accommodate the large influx of players. So, in my mind, this was typically something that was affected by the server administration, so that they would trigger this in order to make it easier to grind things out or whatever, or certain servers would have this in order to just make the grinding aspect of WoW a whole lot easier, which, you know, is fine. Fucking whatever floats your boat. Like, some people are into that, some people aren't. Blizzard, back in the olden day, and I've done a bit of reading on this one now. This is the This is how fucking interesting I actually do find it. There was actually research. Not going to quote any of the research because it was all from the internet. So it's likely that some of this actually may not be true. Oh, we got some Dreamfall. Neat. Turns out, back in the day, like the old style WoW, Blizzard actually had a system whereby certain mobs and nodes would dynamically respawn if a certain number of people were involved or in the area. So, take the Frost Maul Giants, for example. The magic number of players that needs to be present either in the raid or the area. Now, that part I'm not 100% on, but let's just, for argument's sake and safety's sake, assume the raid, which is what happened yesterday, which triggered this, and it did, it happened. It went from being a normal respawn to a dynamic respawn, and the difference is astounding. It's a very rapid turnover of mobs in a very short space of time, which allowed me to farm, I think it was something like 80 fucking Fire Maul echoes in a very short space of time, which, you know, that's pretty neat. But, ooh, what are you? That's terrible. Right. It allowed us to farm a very large amount of mobs in a very short space of time. And what happened was, if you had 15 players, and again, I'm going to say in the raid, but potentially in the area from my reading of it, but that could have just been the wording of several forums, it would trigger this dynamic respawn rate. So the 15 players could, in theory, make their way around a route, grind out all the mobs, and by the time they got back to the start, the mobs should have respawned there. So they should have the opportunity to just continue a kind of like a loop over and over and over again. And the mobs should constantly be respawning as you get back to them, as opposed to clearing the whatever 8 or 9 Frostmaul Giants that there are that do spawn there and remain there, and then having to wait, like, you know, 3 or 4 minutes for the next wave of them to spawn. By the time you do the clear and return back to the start point, the first mob should have already respawned. And something to bear in mind with that, echoes, it's kind of like a quest item. Like, it's not a quest item, let's clarify that, but it's kind of like a quest item in the regard that once it's dropped, everyone that can loot it. So everyone that has a cache of Maori on them, Maori, we'll say, not Maori. These aren't the indigenous peoples of another country, but everyone that has that on them can then loot. So, in theory, every time one drops, if you have a raid of 15 people, you get 15 echoes. And because you're doing this on loop, they start dropping more and more frequently, which means that you generate an infinitesimally larger quantity of echoes per person involved, which is kind of neat. So, for future reference, for anyone that finds it a bit of a pain in the tatas to get Frostmaul echoes and is wondering why people even bother their arse doing them, and I was one of those people. If you see a group going to farm Frostmaul echoes, you are going to get a shit ton of echoes, especially if they hit that critical mass point of 15. Now, Frostmauls are farmable with 2 people. I've done it myself and another chap, like a warrior and a rogue. You don't even need a fucking healer. Like, you can do it, no bother. Like, realistically, they're not that hard to kill. But the problem with that is that every time you kill one, the projected echo generation would only be 2. But not only that, you're now stuck with the long respawn timer, which is fucking horrendously long. It's not that... No, actually it is. It's kind of long. Like, it's about fucking 3, 4, possibly even 5 minutes. I don't know for sure. But it's not the way it was when I was in that group last night. And I didn't record it because I was just chilling and chatting with people and shit like that. And I don't record everything I fucking do. I generally leave Shadowplay running when I don't record the clips as I do now. But typically, I don't record like 90% of what goes on. So I was just chilling and chatting with people and stuff like that, which is nice, and, you know, downtime and all that crack. Oh, hey, there's another one. This is a nice loop here as well. They tend to respawn just by the time you get back to the start point. There's usually like a second or 2 where I have a chance to have a slurpy tea. But anyway. Hey, hello, look, he's back up. We're good. That's my start point. Let's kind of back this out of the middle. But, while chatting with them, we had a group of, I think, about 20 at our highest point. So the mobs were popping up every minute or so. So every time you killed one, it was about a minute before it came back up, if even. And yeah, no, that'd be about accurate, about a minute. Over the course of maybe half an hour of the dynamic fucking respawn, people were gradually, they'd fill their bags with various bits of bobs, or they ran out of time, they had to bail and all that sort of shit. So people got a few echoes and then they fucked up. And what happened was, there was a point where, without noticing it, we actually hit 14 players in the raid, and of which I think only 12 were actually present. And then suddenly everyone noticed that nothing was respawning anymore. And it highlighted to me. I actually kind of wish I had recorded that part, just so you could see the before and after. But it highlighted to me the reality of what a dynamic respawn is, and then also just the triggering of it. Now, I don't know if that applies to, like, I don't know if I had 50 players here with me and suddenly I started farming these bad boys, would they be like, bomb, 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 because there's 50 players in the area? Or if it's just specific mobs like that that are farmed for their resources, and Blizzard back in the day in their wisdom kind of went, hey. Or if it's a Kronos specific thing. I'm not 100% on that either. But for those of you that are on this server and are intrigued and want that shit, bear that in mind. Get in a raid. Get in a big raid of players, because you're gonna get a fucking ton of Frost Maul doodaddies one way or the other. That also would technically then apply to Winterfall lads, because, hey, thanks, Linda. Remember that meme? Linda, honey. Oh, that was good. But anyway, I found that really interesting. It was an aspect of the game, a mechanic that I didn't know. I thought it was neat, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Anyway, I'm going to continue farming the feckin' BJs out of these guys, so that way I can get the rest of our rep with the Irish and Dawn and get that 18 slot bag, which is fantastic. Ha! I also do realize that selling the majority of the goods that I'm getting now at the moment would probably be a far more efficient way of getting a 18 slot bag, but we're gonna need to get our rep up for the Irish and Dawn anyway, so I'm getting 2 birds but 1 stone. Also, I'm full 16 slot bags. One of the lads sent me a bag, and then I was talking to one of the lads yesterday, and that lockbox dropped off. I don't know what I was fucking farming. Open that bad boy up, and we got our 3rd Traveler's Backpack. So, we only paid for 1 bag. So, cheers, meat stick. But we only paid for 1 bag. Feels good, man. And we're about to get a 14 slot bag there at some stage in the past few minutes. Anyway, I digress. The filler part of this episode is now gone. Food for thought. Have a think about that. Back in a minute. Early. So, I've gone to 210. That was what I set me cutoff point at. And then I said I was going to take a break from doing it. So we come in and we have a chat with this lady here. Core of Elements. Insignia of the Dawn. Fantastic. Give me all of this. And we get 11 rep with the Irish and Dawn each time. We're not really doing that so much for rep, but I want that 18 slot bag. Bum, 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 bum. When we're farming the bone parts for these chaps, that's when we'll get a shit ton of rep from the marks or whatever they're called. I can't even remember. When you're getting the bone fragments to get the insignia of the Crusade, consequently you'll also get the Scourge stones, which can be handed in order to get a rep consumable thing, which I'll just go around and I'll show you guys now in a sec. You've already seen all of this. Well, cool. There's another few of those bad boys, which is kind of neat. Maybe a 7. Okay, and yeah, here, this is what I'm talking about. When you do this, they give you, what's it called? A Valor token. There you go. Fucking Irish and Valor, whatever you want to fucking call it. I have a load of them in the bank already as well. So when we're farming the bone fragments, we will get those stones as well. I've already handed in a fucking ton of them, and I have about 20 odd of those fucking insignias in the bank. So that's where the rep will come from, consequently. That, and when we start doing more Strath Undead runs as well, which I am keeping an eye out for, just in case. Just in case. Anyway, back in a minute.
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck?
Gibboeire just said fuck it and he just hides back here with us.
That's why Breeze died so bad.
It's that like thunderclap right to meteor combo. I don't have the health for that.
Dude, he's like a 3k.
Fuck off, kiddo.
Rightio, so here we are in Winterspring, and it is raid night tonight. And you may be wondering, Gibbo, what are you doing in Winterspring, and why are you still killing elementals? And someone else appears to be doing so too. Feels bad, man. I wondered why that one just spawned behind me. I still want to keep farming these cores, but it's also, like I said already at the start of this sentence, raid day. So I'm just going through my preparations in order to make sure I have all my consumes and stuff like that for the raid later on. Okay. And I just wanted to talk about this phenomena that we're experiencing here currently at the moment. So, little beknownst to me, I only came across this, at least consciously, maybe 3 days ago, I think, now at this stage. So, this is what's called an elemental invasion, which is another facet of this game that I was absolutely oblivious to. Now, I'm not too sure if there's a way, other than being in the area, of identifying whether or not there's actually an invasion going on. That I am not 100% on whatsoever. But basically, periodically in Vanilla WoW, every, I'm going to say 2 to 3 days, give or take, there are what's referred to as an elemental invasion of certain parts of Azeroth. Namely, those being, right here, I believe Ungoro Crater and Ajara. There might be more that I'm not aware of, or I just can't think of at this present moment in time. But basically, that's all it consists of. It's just a load of portals like this popping open, and elementals of a particular type, depending on the area, spawning in gratuitous amounts for a good old while. And the fortuitous thing about these elementals is that they have significantly high drop rates of all the reagents that elementals tend to drop, which makes them quite nice to farm. However, they do come with a time seal on them, unfortunately, and these hit like a fucking train, so bear that in mind. So if you happen to be farming in one of these areas and they are up, they are a convenient way of picking up essences and shit like that, which sell on the auction house for a fucking shed load of gold. So, just something to bear in mind. But, see what I mean? What needs to be said about this shit as well is what's meant to happen is there's meant to be like a boss one that spawns with each one. I forget the name of them. And I think I've actually seen the bosses shouting without realizing what was going on. And I just fucking ignored it. As you tend to do when shit is happening that you don't understand. But I just thought it was really cool that like shit like this is going on around you. And like until you kind of come across it in any meaningful fashion, like you don't really understand what's going on. Because when I came across these the other night, I got disconnected after doing about 3 laps around the shop here. You know, I'd ground out a fair amount of mats, and I'd gotten a significant amount of cores, so I was quite happy, and that's what I like. These seem to have a happy balance between getting cores and getting the likes of the water essence. Where's the elemental? I could have swore I got an elemental water there at some point. No, well, it's not so far anyway. But they seem to have a happy balance between the two, but after doing about 3, maybe 4 laps at tops, and I didn't see the boss floating around anywhere. Oh, that portal isn't looking the May West. Does that mean it's fucking off soon? I don't know. Give me your insides, fool. I got disconnected, and then when I came back on, none of them were here. I was saying to myself, what the fuck? Maybe when I got disconnected, it was just my internet, maybe, and you know, someone else probably came in and done a full clear. But like, look how fast they're respawning. There's body parts left everywhere from them as well. Like, so in my head, like, while I'm trying to justify the possibility for, oh, you see that? Full 16 slot bags as well. Feels good, man. I was trying to justify in my head a reason that they couldn't be here, but yet I couldn't find one, because there's no way someone could clear the entire thing in one fell swoop and have all the bodies disappear then at the same time, and then for there to be nothing here whatsoever. And then I kind of noticed these portal doodaddies weren't there anymore, and I'm saying to myself, nah, that's kind of unusual, to say the least. And that's what one of the lads in the guilds explained to me. Yeah, there's like these periodic elemental invasions. I was like, that's fucking sick, dude. I don't know if stuff like that is still in like the modern inception of WoW, but I don't know. I think shit like this is kind of neat. That like you might come across them and assume they're there till the end of time, and then you come back another time, they're not there anymore, and you're like, why? Why? I don't know if these bosses drop good loot. Oh, and additionally, I have actually got a new add-on. I've actually probably had it for the entirety of this episode, but I've not said that. I picked up Atlas. One of the guys put a link to it, because I was intrigued about a couple of items of loot. Basically looking for items that I might need to start kind of completing the gear that we have equipped. And I wonder if you click... No. Okay. I was wondering if it would bring up the loot that the bosses might drop, but I guess you'd have to Google that one. That's why I've been really kind of like adverse to getting Atlas for a long while, because you know you could just Google half of this shit, but that means alt tabbing, and now I can just click that shit, which is convenient sometimes when you're feeling lazy. See what I mean? It drops tons of shit. Anyway, I just thought I would mention this to you guys, because I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. Kind of neat. Back in a minute. Oh, also, before I don't think I've mentioned it yet in this episode. So, just to quickly address my leg enchant. We popped back into ZG after the run yesterday, and we have whacked on a ZG buff thing. So, nice. That's the two enchants I think are now best in slot. Sorted after all that effort to fucking get the 8 agility on. But you know what? It was nice to see how you go about using that enchant, or at least where you go to use that enchant and fucking get all that shit kicked off, I suppose. But I think that's pretty much all of the Librum wank that we need to worry about for the next while anyway. How am I looking on cores here of interest? We're not doing so good on the cores. We're doing great on all the other bullshit. Not so much on the cores. Not so much on the cores today. This was much better the other night. Oh, sure. Fuck it. Another thing I'd like to point out about this as well, which I didn't mention there in the last little snippet just before I fucked off, is that we're right next to a bank. Like, there's Everlook. Like, convenience. Like, it doesn't get any better than that, really, does it? And I don't have to swim. Although I suppose I'm gonna have to make my way all the way back over to the Eastern Kingdoms now in order to be able to hand these fuckers in. So, tomato, tomato. Tomato, tomato. Anyway, back in a minute.
You want to disenchant this?
Sure.
Oh, they pulled the things. The things have been pulled.
It was completely intentional.
Rip Gucci.
Fucking god.
And this thanks to Kalia.
Dude, is this a fucking joke?
No, you ran into the imps,
I didn't run into it.
but you followed someone there.
Anyone else?
It wasn't Kalia.
It was.
As you can tell. That's Waldo.
Where is Waldo?
Where?
Nobody ever asks, how is Waldo?
No one cares how he's doing.
It's bad for Waldo, man.
I'll get it.
Bimbolos. Good taunt, Gibbo.
I saved all my rage for that one.
Who will die today?
Here's our Gucci! No!
You get you guys smart.
8 seconds, get out.
Stay in. Balls deep.
Gucci's going down!
Rip.
Ball res on Gucci!
Where are the heels?
Right. It's the next day. Maybe not from the previous clip. Possibly from the previous clip. It was from the previous clip. It is the next day. Hooray, we've established that. What have we done in the interim? Last night was raid night. But problems have occurred. Tragedy struck. People didn't log on. Stress was caused. Confusion reigned. Terror grew. But we persevered. And we triumphed. We overcame adversity and organizational issues. And managed to fucking raid after spending hours getting our gear and buffs ready to fucking go. What a pain in the fucking hole. Jesus Christ. Thank fuck we got it sorted in the end. Anyway, so a couple of people didn't log on because like a variety of different reasons. And it was actually forecast that this was going to happen anyway, which is the pain of the tatas, unfortunately. But through a bit of a shimmy shammying and fucking jiggle jangling and juggling things around, we managed to, I don't know what any of those words mean, I just fucking made those up. Yeah, deal with it. We managed to get a raid together, so we didn't do AQ as we would normally on the particular night that I'm referring to. We decided to go to BWL instead, which suits me, because what have I been bitching about this entire episode? What have I been moaning about? My entire lack of bracers. That's been a problem. Been a problem for a while now. Because my bracers didn't have hit. My bracers, in combination with the chest that I had prior to getting to the T2.5 chest, were giving me a bonus set of attack power, which kind of made up for it. It didn't really totally make up for it, but it went away towards sweetening the deal. But now it's become an issue, because we need... Oh, yeah. Nice. That's like 3 or 4 gold. Boom. We need hit, as per usual. The quest for a hit continues. So, how has that changed? Have we made the bat skin blazer? I do love a bat skin blazer. Fuck, why is that so hard to say? I do love a good bat skin blazer. Yeah, that's the sentence that I just said. How has our situation changed? I'm digressing. I'm buying time. So that way I can throw in more ads and generate more ad revenue off you guys. No, not at all. Things have changed. Ready yourselves. Those of you that were at the live stream last night, because that's a thing I'm doing again. Started doing that again last night. And, like, fucking... That's why I was kind of miffed about the fucking raid not going ahead. Because, like, I had finally put time aside to fucking live stream. And, like, had set up the fucking thing and everything. Went through the effort of fucking testing it. Fixed my fucking microphone, may I add. It was shadow play. Punched the microphone there out of frustration. Just uninstalled it, reinstalled it. It's all fucking G now. That's all I had to do. Fuck me. All that stress. But there we go. Problem solved. Neither here nor there. But hit on bracers. Been a problem for a while. Live stream happened. Great crack. If you were there, you would have seen that things have changed. Things have changed! Should we do the reveal? Should I show you guys what it is? Suspense. Drum roll. Should I just add in a drum roll here? Gibbo, when you're editing this, put a drum roll, like, maybe 3 seconds before you say this. Can you fuck off? I'm talking to myself in the future. Which is weird. The drum is rolling? I really hope I find a drum roll now, or else, like, this entire 10 seconds of me just kind of taking the piss here and just, like, not showing you guys is wasted. Suspense has been created! We managed to get those. We are now 7 out of 8 in terms of T2, which is fucking fantastic. So good. So good. We just need the... Oh, qu'est-ce que c'est? This enchant spec. So be it. What level are you? You could do that. I don't think I could DPS them. Anyway, we got our bracers. So I have to get the bracers enchanted. But that solves our bracer issue and goes away towards solving our... Why aren't you hitting that? Goes away towards solving our hit issue as well. So, hey, it's good. Delighted. Delighted. We're doing well in terms of gear now at the moment. We're doing quite fucking good. So, that was last night in a nutshell. We, like, wiped twice on fucking Chromagus. And, like, the second time we were really close to finishing it. And even on the stream, I says, ah, yeah, we have it here now. And then I think everyone kind of took the same attitude. And started getting lazy, and a lot of people ate Brett's, which fucking sucked. So the stream went on a bit late then, and unfortunately I had to end it before we went on to one-shot Neff, so meh. Neff dropped a Presters, and what else? I don't think anything else that was shiny in terms of rogue loot. Oh no, yeah, Boots of the Shadow Flame dropped as well, so they're pretty neat, but like 2% hit, I suppose, like, if I'm closer to getting full T2, so it doesn't really make sense to go for those boots. But I think with T2.5, I would probably want those boots. But that's something for another, that's another dilemma for another fucking day. So those two dropped, and caster loot. And who cares about caster loot? Nobody cares about caster loot. Not even casters care about caster loot. That's neither here nor there. I'm grinding gold, by the way. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm farming the fucking shit out of these Dredge Strikers to make the money. But anyway, let's bring it on back in. Other things have changed as of approximately 10 minutes ago. So last night, while on the stream, you guys were all like kind of saying, "Oh no, roll for Maladat, roll for Maladat," and I thought I had explained this before, or I thought I had discussed this previously, but I guess not. Either that or you didn't see that episode. But I tried to explain it on stream, but I lacked the words. Did I get an iron silk? No, I didn't. Oh fuck, it feels bad, man. So as a human, you get +5 sword skill as part of your racial passive. So like, and you also get the same for maces. And where am I looking? You get it for maces, two-handed swords, and two-handed maces, I figure. Yeah. There you go. Hey, there's one. Which equates to X amount of hit that you get as a result of that. Ye understand what I'm saying, even though the words may not be there. But anyway, that equates to like a certain amount of kind of, well, I'm going to call it like passive hit that you get as a result of your racial, which is fucking fantastic. So technically I have, not technically, I do have 305 sword skill, which gives me X amount more of hit towards certain mobs, which is, hey, that's fucking, that's deadly, savage. Neither here nor there. Maladat gives you +4 sword skill, and it also gives you parry. Parry, right? So just bear that in mind, and you know what? Because I have Atlas now, I can actually bring this bad boy up. There it is, right. So there's several things wrong with this sword. One, its speed is 2.2, and its damage is actually lower than this Kag. So there's that. So I guess it would be going into your offhand. Yeah, it'd become your offhand sword. Man, that's not much of an improvement there. Hang on, I'm getting distracted here. Come back to what I was actually talking about. Its stats aren't actually that good for a human rogue. Why? Because we're already getting +5 sword skill. So we don't necessarily need more sword skill, because we already have a big bonus coming from that anyway. So we would benefit more from other stats, since we don't need to replace those missing stats that other rogues, for example, dwarf or night elf rogues, would need. Do you feel me? Do you get me? Do you get what I'm saying? That makes sense. So when you then look at CTS, so this motherfucker, it does more damage, which is nice. So it would make for a fantastic main hand. And then you'd want Brutality Blade in the offhand? Yeah, that makes sense. Or Viscag. No, you'd want Brutality Blade in the offhand, I think. Yeah, Brutality Blade, because then you get your crit off that. But it also gives you a load of agility and strength and stamina, which are stats that I actually would then want, because I already have +5 from Escape. Doesn't close that. That's, I don't like that. We already have that from our passive, from our racial, so we're already getting a massive bonus from that. So in order then to complement the massive bonus we get from that in terms of hit, surely we would want better damaging stats. That makes more sense, because we're going to become hit capped after a point, and it's not going to be beneficial to have too much hit. And we're going to get a lot of that hit from our gear. So as a human rogue, it makes far more sense to have CTS. Whereas as a Night Elf rogue, or a Night Elf warrior, or Dwarf warrior, or whatever, it makes more sense to have MacLeod. Does that make sense? Again, I may not be wording it correctly, and I'm sure there are possibly reasons that I'm missing here, but that's why I don't roll on that motherfucker. Just so you understand, because some of you seem confused as to why I wasn't going, yeah, fucking MacLeod, oh man, do this thing. Like, I was happy it dropped. It wasn't the shit I wanted though. So that's why, in case ye were confused. And there is a final thing that we need to discuss. So previously I have also tried to come up with a macro myself, and also through my searches of Google, which fucking for once failed me, may I add. That was abysmal. That was earth-shattering. Hang on, we need to sort things out here. Good shit. No, that's just getting vended because nobody buys that shit. Need to sort out the stuff that I actually want to keep and turn into good stuff, and then the rest of it just gets fucking vendored. So previously I tried to create a macro and find a macro that minimized my downtime of auto attacks in terms of packs of mobs, especially when raiding, because as a rogue the majority of our damage comes from our auto attack damage. Oh, that was fucking a... Why am I stealthed? I'm pretty certain I clicked it. I need the hotkey stealth. There's something that's really convenient. I've been told to do that before. I think it would have been like Control 1 or something like that. Would it? I know Control 1 is now perception on my keyboard, but anyway, here or there. We're getting distracted. Previously tried to make a macro to minimize downtime of auto attacks. Do you see how I quickly got through all of that? And what we have been doing since then has been tab targeting and pushing T, like I did just there, in order to be able to quickly attack another mob when we don't have the energy to spam Sinister Strike and get the attacks going on the next mob, especially in kind of the larger packs of low health mobs like in ahn'qiraj and shit like that, where, you know, all the little guys pop out of some of the fuckers after you kill them, like, and you have enough energy to maybe kill one or two, and then there's still 8 of them left, and you're hitting the one key, tabbing and hitting T, but, like, you might tab onto the wrong mob or whatever, and it's a pain in the arse. So if you hit auto attack, if it's a spell on your hotbar, you will immediately auto attack the closest fucking mob to you. And I couldn't get that to work in a macro, and all the macros I found online, none of them worked for some reason. So I don't know if it was El Trollerino or what the fucking crack is, but copy and pasted and didn't work, so feels bad, man. So before I wanted to talk about MacLeod, I wanted to get my head straight in terms of the reasoning as to why a rogue that was a human wouldn't be going for that over, say, CTS, Viscag, or Brutality Blade, or the enchanting one, which I think we've seen one. But anyway, reading it back into the sense here, I went and I read the guide, the one on the Snalrius forums about the rogue prebis guide from a chap called Otto or something like that. Again, the name fucking escapes me. I've consulted this guide several times, and I think I've actually linked it before. And it is a fantastic bit of kit and a fantastic way to kind of fucking orientate yourself in terms of what you're looking for in terms of gear and enchants. And I've never fully read the thing, and it's massively, it's a fucking huge guide. Like, the chap talks about, like, kind of poisons and optimal rotations and fucking, like, has calculations for, like, the amount of DPS you get from an item in optimum conditions and all this shit. And it's all well and good. And my reading of that didn't enlighten me anymore about the Maladat fucking thing, so I just kind of had to come up with words for that myself. But in reading it, I noticed this section about macros, and that caught my eye because, you know, the quest for the macro goes on. And in it, there was this thing. Marrow. Well, fuck. I hope everyone has a bit of marrow. This one. So, I'm calling it Sin/Auto. Why? Because it's a combination of Sinister Strike and Auto Attack. So, what the macro stated is you need to put Auto Attack on your hotbar. And in the specific macro in question, this chap put the Auto Attack onto action key 9. Yes, 9. A magic number in this case. So I shuffled 9 around and put Auto Attack onto it. Copy and pasted this bad boy. So / cast Sinister Strike and then / script. If not, is current action 9, then use current action 9 end. Which apparently means try and use Sinister Strike. And if that doesn't work, just fucking Auto Attack. And because it's the Auto Attack there that you can click like that, and you don't have to tab and hit T to initiate the auto attacking, it targets the nearest mob. And you start slapping it. And it's fucking fantastic. So there's no more going tab T, and then trying to fucking hit shift to fucking get Blade Flurry up. Now it's just hit the 1 key mindlessly like this. Just fucking, that's how you land DPS. And there you go. Top the DPS meters. GG. Now I haven't raided with that yet because I literally found it while we were here trying to do this. Am I in fucking combat? Like, why couldn't I stealth there? What did I miss? I'm 100% certain I clicked stealth. Did that put me in combat? Oh yeah, because it targeted because I was mashing the 1 key. Never mind, I understand. But that means that I'm going to now minimize the amount of downtime that I have in between attacking mobs. Because you know when you get to that point when there's a pack of mobs and you're fucking lashing the 1 key out of it, you're fucking giving it loads, and you're throwing the damage down, and then you kill it, and then you tab and you hit T, but then suddenly the mob that you tabbed onto dies. Or you tab, hit T, you get off 1 Sinister Strike, and now you have no energy, and then that mob dies. So you're mashing the 1 key, and everyone's fucking whirlwinding, and they're fucking blizzarding, and there's all sorts of shit going down, and you're just standing there kind of going, I've got 2 swords. These are great, aren't they? This is fucking fantastic. Is that guy dead yet? Should I hit him as well? I don't think I'll hit him. And you have your thumb up your fucking arse, and you're not fucking doing that. That's going to minimize that. Because again, let's come back to what rogues are good at. Auto attack damage. That's the main thing. Look at it. It's up at the top of the thing. Because that's where the majority of your fucking damage comes from. Which is why hit and shit like that is so important with rogues. Which is why people were like, hey, you should roll on Maladat. That would make sense. But it makes sense for others because now that we have X amount of hit from our passive anyway, it makes more sense for us to get the stats that benefit from having that hit. Hey, words. I phrased it in a way that made sense. So, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to cover in this week's episode. I didn't realize it was poisoned. Why am I killing a scorpion? I don't want anything this drops. I'm an idiot. Rip. There was something that I wanted to do in this episode that I have a feeling is probably going to take me another week to get it done. Dependent. I have most of it done, and I have parts of it already recorded. But until I get the complete thing, for the continuity of it and the context of it, it makes more sense for me to do it all in one go. So, the next episode I am working on at the moment. I'm gonna get charged. Rip. The next episode I am working on at the moment probably won't be out for a week after this one, depending on, you know, RNG. But like I said, I already have 2/3 of it done. It's just a case of something specifically dropping in a specific dungeon that nobody has any fucking interest in doing whatsoever. But I reckon I can rubber arm a couple of people into helping me and coming with me. A couple of people have already said they would, so now it's just a case of getting them when they're actually on here. Do you like that? How it just starts the comment? It's just so convenient. I'm so happy with this macro. I'll include a link to that guide down below for those of you that may not have seen that guide before. But it's the first thing that comes up when you Google Vanilla Rogue this, and it'll be it's on like a Nost forum or some shit like that. But it's the fucking job, and props to the fucking dude that made it. You're a fucking hero, bud. You've made my life significantly easier. Hang on, we kill this fucker. No loot. Feels bad, man. How are we doing? We have 20 of these. Is that sandworm meat? It is. Let's move that over here. I like that thing's ordered in my bag. But anyway, there are episodes in the work. And I say episodes because I have several different things that I'm working towards now at the moment. Which is partially why I'm grinding gold like a motherfucker here. That, and I'm addicted to doing that. It's so fun. It's so relaxing. But anyway, I reckon we're going to leave it here because I do want to get an episode out within the week. Can I just pull the... Come on. Yep. Yep. There to fuck. That's the job. Because I do want to try and be a bit more consistent with my WoW uploads. I am planning on continuing the live streaming a bit more regularly. Possibly with music next time. I won't be uploading the live streams afterwards. I don't intend on doing that because it's cat SBJs. It's just I don't want to get copyright strikes off having fucking music playing in the background. So I think it's one or the other. So that's just the way that's gonna go. How are we looking in terms of? Yeah, I'm not full yet. We can keep going for a little bit longer. But I do plan on doing more live streaming, so if you're interested, do attend. If you're not interested, attend anyway and leave me your likes so I can feed myself with burgers. No, worth a shot, I guess. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. I am going to do this for all of maybe 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go get a cup of tea and go outside for a run, because it's fucking lovely. Good plan. Good plan. Okay. Nobody wants to do the dungeon that I'm thinking of. You can probably work it out from that sentence alone, but we'll leave it at that. This has been Gibboeire, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any other comments, questions, concerns about anything that happened in this video, leave it down below in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Take her handy. Bye-bye!